Hello, everyone. Welcome back and happy New Year. I decided to go ahead and start the live. I think my special guest is having some type of difficulties. Nevertheless, we're gonna go ahead and start. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a great holiday season. I'm ready to hit the ground running. Ready to hit the ground running. Um, I am on here today. Men in we're talking about men in childcare. And as you all know, I've been in childcare now. I thought about it today when I was at my doctor's appointment, and I realized that I've been in childcare now going on 5 years. And it's just amazing how time flies. And being a male in childcare has been wonderful for me. I noticed the difference in children. I noticed the way they respond to males. Most of the time, it's different because they lack authority figures at home, so that the male naturally comes with authority to children. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about men in childcare. As everyone comes in, I'm going to be patient and wait for people to come in. When you come in, please go ahead and share the live. Make sure that you click the link so that you're able to comment when you have to comment or when you have a comment. Because if not, I won't be able to see it. I try to do it from both my phone and and the and here so that I'm able to see it. So while we're doing that, I would like to know what people think about men in childcare. As you come in, comment and tell me what you think about men in childcare. Is it something that you are against? Is it something that you're for? Tell me, what do you think about men in childcare? And please be honest. This is an honest space where you can comment what do you really think about it. Um, so we can talk about that. So we can talk about that. Please, as you come in, comment what do you think about men in childcare? What do you think about men in childcare? People are still coming. People are still coming in. I know it's the first one of the new year, so I expect some people to be behind and have to catch it later, which is perfectly fine. I totally understand. Thank you all for being so consistent with me and supporting me throughout the time that I've been doing this. We've received some great information, some great insight from people. But as you come in, please share the live and please comment and tell me, what do you think about men in childcare? What do you think about men in childcare? When you first hear about it, what do you think about great classroom management? The children listen to men and respect them. Um, I agree with that. For me, it has definitely been that. When you think about men in childcare, and you think about little girls, what are you all's perspective on that? And babies, I never forget, I did an interview one time, and the young man was from up north, and he told me that his specialty was the infant room. That's the room that he worked in. Being that my center was not in an area to receive that, I was not able to hire him for that room. So what are you all's opinion of a male in like your infant rooms and your toddler rooms? What do you think about that? Is that something that you would be okay with, or how does that work? What do you all think about that? I'm new watching you, but I wanted to chime in because I think it is important, just like in household, the great respect as it should. Hi, I'm new watching you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Hi, I'm new watching you, but I wanted to chime in because I think it's important, just like a man in the household, they get respect as they should. I agree that men should be in it. I agree that they get a different level of respect. And although thank you, first of all, thank you for being a first time watcher. Thank you for coming on. But how do you feel about a male in like your sensitive areas, in your sensitive rooms, like your infant room and your toddler rooms, where he's doing a lot of changing and so forth? And how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? And when I interviewed the dude, to be honest with you, I'm sorry, the young man, to be honest with you, I felt like he would have been a great candidate for my interim. I feel like he would have done it so much justice. But being that I wasn't in an area to receive that, I knew that I had to cater to that. I knew that I didn't want to put him in any type of situation to be, bullied or get harsh treatment from parents or anything. Because as a director, my one of my goals is to look out for my staff. I'm never going to put my staff in a place where they're going to have to in a situation that is combative. I would never do that. Even when they have problems with parents, I tell them, don't argue with them. Send them to the front. Don't even go there. Don't even stress yourself out. Send them to the front. Send them to the front and let them talk to the director, just to keep everything calm, everything, happy for everyone, because it's a lot. It's a lot when you're a teacher and you also have to deal with parents also who sometimes are not as understanding as they should be. So yes, I try to get a handle on that before it becomes an issue. Um, but thank you once again for chiming in with that. Yes, I think that as time changes, men are becoming more accepted in the childcare arena. I think that it is something that most people are beginning to look at as normal. As before, it was something that uh, wasn't something that you would see. Um, if he is professional and has a second teacher in there around while he is doing the changing and other things, I'm okay with it with men in childcare. Okay. Um, so I have to agree with you. Whenever I go in a room and I have to change, it's rare that I now, because when I first went in and my mindset was different. Because I was passionate about it, and I knew that I wouldn't do anything of that nature. I knew that, but everybody else didn't know that. I was okay with changing a child, but now I understand how sensitive of a situation that it is, and I really don't care to do it. However, there does come a time when everyone, if you're in childcare, you know that there are days when someone may call out, you have to do XYZ, and there are times when you have to step in and help out and change a diaper so that the day still flows, so that everybody isn't having a bad day. So I agree with you with that. Let me not say that I agree with you, but I do know that there are some times when that isn't always the case, and isn't always an extra body to shadow you while you're doing that, and we have to do what is best for the center. Most times I think people understand, but let me stress this. There is, when a male if when a male comes into your center, or when anyone comes in your center, the first thing that one must do is establish a relationship. What saves us in childcare is that we establish a relationship. And I agree, if we hire more men, the perception would change. That's absolutely correct. But I think that so many people are trying to protect their business that they don't. Or if they hire them, they give them the older ages, which is perfectly fine. But you do have some men that specialize, that are great with toddlers, that are great with infants. That's just their, it just comes natural to them. And there's some that don't like working with the older kids. It's the same thing with women. Some women love toddlers, some women love infants and prefer not to ever step foot in a 4-year room or a pre-K classroom, so forth and so on. So you just have that. It just is that in childcare, it's a different, standard when it comes to men, because we, although that may be our strong area, you still have to think about the business. And because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that parents are comfortable because they're leaving their most prized possession with you. So you have to make sure that they are comfortable. But thank you all for your comments and for coming in, for your comments and for coming in. Um, Yeah, so I agree. I think that we should hire more. I've always been an advocate for that. I think that we need more men. I think that it changes the mindset of other young men. I think that it gives them, because most of the time when you hear or when you ask a little boy, what does he want to do? He gives you these things that he may deem right. But now, I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to admit my special guest in. Hello.
Hey, sir, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Please forgive me for being tardy, man. It's not easy being late.
It's okay. It's okay. Things happen. Things happen.
Yes,
How was
sir.
your day?
Say that one more time.
How was your day?
Oh, today's been great, man. I can't complain. It's just been very, when I say very busy, as a matter of
Mhm.
fact, it's been Monday. That's what it's been.
It's-
It's been Monday.
and I was lucky because I took today off, so I've had a pretty smooth day. I didn't go to the gym or anything.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, I did. I just relaxed today. For everyone that is on and that will come in later, I want to let you know this is my special guest. He is a father. He is a child care center owner. XYZ. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hey, everybody, and thank you so much to the Childcare Whisperer for allowing me to take this opportunity to share with you tonight, man. It's number one. Let me say this before I talk about me. It's a joy being able to watch another guy love children and love the childcare business. Let me just say the childcare field and profession as much as I do. Honestly, it is phenomenal, and so I salute you, brother, and I say, keep this up, please do. All right. But I want to say to
Thank
you
you.
guys, I am Trayvon McNeil. I am the Daycare Dude. I actually am in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I have a child care center here where we serve more than 40 families total at this moment, or around 40 families at this moment in our child care facility. We've been in operation, believe it or not, for about 2 years and some change. But most people think that we've been in operation for about 5 to 10 years because of how we run our center. And I believe that it's just my heart that every early childhood educator, especially those who own businesses in childcare, would run their businesses in such a way that people feel like and believe that you've been in business your entire life,
Hmm.
regardless of. So you'll learn a little bit. Hopefully, you'll learn a little bit about me tonight. That will help to encourage some of you all who may be interested in the childcare field or already in the childcare field, and help us all to be like the childcare whisperer.
No, no, we all want to be like you. We all want to be like you. So tell me something. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna address you as the daycare dude. So daycare dude, tell me what made you go into early childhood education.
I love kids. Like I really love. Let me tell you something. People, and this is strange to some people. I love to talk, by the way, bro. So I just sorry. And most people expect this starch guy when they come when they see my pictures or whatever. No, I'm a big kid. I'm loud. I talk a lot, and I have fun. So I'm very animated. But I love children, and I tell people this all the time about me. I absolutely love people. I'm a people person all the way around.
Hmm.
Our center opens up at 5 o'clock every morning, and we open up at 5 a.m. We're a 24-hour center, and watch this. I open up the center at 5 a.m. so that my staff doesn't have to get up so early. My first staff member comes in at 7 because I try to be as considerate as possible. For now, there'll come a time where they're all going to open up and I'm going to lay in the bed. However, for now, at 5 a.m. I open up, and I come back to the center. When I get off the line with you, I'm going to try to take me probably about a 30-minute nap, and then I'm going to head back to the center and spend an hour with my director so that she and I can share a little bit about the day. And then from there, I'll be there until 5 o'clock the next morning when 7 o'clock the next morning when my next staff person comes in. And then I'll come out of administrative duties and I'll stick around for a little while to make sure you don't need anything. And I'll leave out about 11, 12 o'clock, depending on how things are going during the day. And so I said that to show how much I absolutely love this profession. I love children. I started into it back after I got out of college, out of the high school. While in college, I started working at Childcare Network with my godmother. And Childcare Network was it was an experience for me. Okay, you learn how. I gotta watch what I say.
Yeah.
Um, for those of you childcare professionals out there, you don't want to be the business that somebody learns what not to do in.
Oh,
There we go.
absolutely,
There we go. Okay,
absolutely.
okay. And
But 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 the thing is, you know what I've learned? One of my directors is watching now. My former director, her name is Miss Shakisha Jinks. I saw her come in, and welcome to everyone. What she taught me is that although it's something that you don't want to be like, you have to use everything as a stepping stone. Because I must
absolutely.
say that the things that I saw that I would not do helped me in the areas when I got to other centers. Okay, I know that I shouldn't do this. I know that this needs to be done. So although we don't want to be in those predicaments, they are learning experiences. They are great for our character.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I completely agree with that. And we have to learn as childcare professionals. Am I really close to this
No, you're
camera?
perfect. You're perfect. You're
I
perfect.
was looking. Okay, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I've already warned you guys. But uh, I believe that you do use those things as stepping stones. I believe every experience in life is
Hmm.
meant to help direct us in one direction, one way or another. And it's up to us to grasp the meaning of it or just kick it to the curb. And I try to take hold of everything that God allows to come in my direction, whether good or bad. I didn't say
Hmm.
that God gave to me or God made happen, but He allowed to come into my direction. And because He allowed it to come in my direction, I know I'm protected from it if it's not good enough for me. And if I'm
Hmm.
protected from it, I know how to look at it and say, oh, okay, well, see, that was supposed to work against me. But because I was in this position, it didn't. And so I learned that the position I was in that kept me from the harm of whatever it was is a good place to be in. Does that make sense?
It
And
does.
and so a lot of us have to just pay attention to that, even in the childcare business. What are we doing that helps us to stay away from the harm? What are we doing to help keep our children away from the harm or to keep our staff away from the harm? We have to pay attention to
Mhm.
those things and know that the good and the bad that's coming at us is all meant for a reason. So we have to pay
Mhm.
attention to those things.
Absolutely. So, and I noticed that when you talk, I can hear the preacher coming out of you because that you're a minister also. I love
I
it.
try my best not to let that come out.
Listen, what's in us is gonna come out, so you might as well just go ahead and just let
It's
it.
true. It's true, baby.
So, did you ever teach when you were working at Child Care Network? What grades did you teach?
So, okay, the first thing I told them when I got hired at Childcare Network at at Childcare Network was this: I ain't working with nobody, baby. Okay, I said it just like that. I ain't working with nobody, baby. All right, don't put me in no baby room. I don't change babies. I don't do that. And it was a thing for me as a male not wanting to go into a an environment where I had to constantly change private areas of children. That was just me because
Hmm.
I know that males were not prominent in the field. But for me, I the first place they put me as a floater, and I was too good to be a floater. I engaged with the children so much, the children fell in love with me that when I would have to float to my next classroom, behaviors would break out in the classrooms because the children wanted me to stay. And so
Hmm.
my director at the time, she felt like, okay, we got to do something with you, guy. And so
Hmm.
she put me in one of the Mort 4 classrooms. The best thing she could have ever done was put me in a Mort 4 classroom. And so I loved it because, in Mort 4 classrooms, you get to go home earlier than everybody else,
Right.
And so for me, what ends up happening is I get into the classroom there, and then they say, Mr. Trayvon, we need to move you again. Okay, where are you gonna move me to? We need somebody in the after school care room. Oh man. So now I gotta come in later and stay later than everybody else. But the after school program was the heartbeat for me, which led me to continue to stay in love with the profession. Um, Childcare became a really big love for me when I decided to stick it out with the after schoolers. And here's why: the after school program allowed me to be me. I could be
Absolutely.
silly. I could create things. We did a lot in those classes. We cooked with those kids. We made our own Play-Doh. We threw marshmallows at each other and didn't get in trouble. Like it was just a lot that we did in the school age program that we couldn't do it more at 4 or in the other class in the preschool program. And so that's where I started out. And I know you didn't ask me all the other details, but that's where I started out at.
Oh no, no, no. Feel free to share. It's perfectly fine with me. Um, I like the after school room also, and I like it. I like it for that reason too. That you're able to play with them, you're able to interact with them, and they're able to, be themselves. But most importantly, for me, when it came down to after school, although we were doing that, they were able to see another male that was professional, that was
Yes.
fun, that was black, that was
Yes.
a lot of things, and it shifted their mindset. It really shifted their mindset to. I never forget. It was one day I was in the after school, and even now I have my button up to the top. And I asked one little boy, he was in my after school program. I said, his name was Jalen. I said, Jalen, why do you have your shirt buttoned up all the way to the top? He said, well, I want to be like you, Mr. Clark.
Oh wow.
Those moments, they mean so much to me. Like we all know that in the childcare field, we're not looking to get rich when you're working.
Absolutely.
It really has to be a heart thing, because if it's not a heart thing, then you will lose it along the way. It has to be a heart thing. But so when he said that to me, it was so endearing, because it was like children are looking for somebody that they can model after. That's what they're longing for, and we
Hmm.
need that example no matter where we go. But you said something, and you mentioned your director as an owner. How did you become comfortable with your director? Because I know, even for me, when I started this, and I'm thinking of, like, I was approved to do a sub agency, and I also work full time. So I'm like, I have to hire somebody once I start, fully operating my sub agency to do it. And I'm like, okay, now this is my baby. Ooh, I gotta find somebody that's really gonna. So
Yes.
what made you become comfortable with your director?
Can I share something with you? You talked about being a preacher earlier, and I have to be honest with you. There are two
Absolutely.
men in my life who have taught me how to be a leader. And not to say that no one else had any play in it, but these two men have helped me to be exactly who I am today when it comes to me being a leader. And one of those people was my former pastor, who's going to be the Lord, Bishop James Hilton, and the other is my current pastor, Dr. Ernest W. Jones. And the two things about these guys that they taught me was this right here: trust the people that you put in position.
Mm,
And the other thing is you've got to learn how to hire your weaknesses. And so
mm,
if you're not strong in a certain area, then don't try to do it all by yourself,
mm,
because you're going to fail. And then when you try to do it again to prove somebody that you didn't fail, you'll fail again. And they'll
mm,
just notice that you failed the first time and the second time, and then you're going to fail that third time as well. But if you would learn to hire your weaknesses, it takes humility. It takes humility. And you hire your weakness, and then you put a confidence in them to show them that not only am I trusting you with my baby, but I'm trusting you to help operate in what God has also placed on the inside of you to do. And so when you do that, you form a partnership with with between yourself and that other leader. And you guys come together and y'all make the vision work. Can I tell you this? A lot of people don't do well because of this. As leaders, business owners, however we want to address it, a lot of them don't do well for this particular reason. They're too territorial, and they're afraid that the people that they put in position are going to learn more than them and take over. Well, you can take over, but my name was on all the paperwork. You can take over, but the paychecks will still be written and have to be signed by me, including mine. And so at the end, and yours. So at the end of the day, if you take over, just make sure you take over well and make us look good to the community. And so I have that
yeah.
mindset. I have that mindset that this person that I've allowed to become my director, I trust her. I trust her with every everything that my business has to offer. And of course, I pay attention to who she is in the background. I've done my research on who you are before I just allow you to come in and try to run something, you know.
Mhm.
But I've learned to humble myself enough to back up and say, hey, if I want this to succeed, I've got to be honest enough to say I don't know every detail about the childcare business, but I can learn from somebody else as I'm going throughout my time of growing in the business. So
I
that's how I've come to become comfortable with my director enough to allow her to actually lead my center and lead it into a place of victory.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. It takes a big person to be able to let go of their baby.
Oh yeah.
So that was some good advice. So let me ask you a question. What are some things that when you have a director, because when I started my business, that was my goal. I wanted to help directors because I know that directors, even myself, we have weak areas, and we don't like to address those weak areas. You know, even people, we don't like to address our weak areas. But when you see that a director is struggling in an area, or you know, he or she may need improvement, what would you do if in that situation?
Well, first I got to recognize this, and I learned this from my current pastor as well, Dr. Ernest Jones. Is this um, at the end of the day, every leader struggles with some area of their life. Okay, every leader has an area where they're not the greatest at, and
Hmm.
you've got to make the people who lead under you secure enough to know that although they may fail, they're not a failure to you. You understand what I'm saying? And so, as a senior leader in this area, I've got to be okay with them making a mistake, and then me coming behind them to not fix them, but help them to become better in that area. And so, one of the things that I would do if there's someone that's watching today and they have that issue, one of the first things I would do is, of course, have a conversation with that individual. Ask that person, hey, what is it that you felt like you did right? What did you feel like you didn't do so right? Okay, now let me tell you what I saw, you know? And now we get to compare the two perspectives. And guess who perspective they're going to want and they feel like they need to follow? The perspective of the one that hired them. Because that's the one that absolutely matters. Now, again, you have to be humble enough to know when you're wrong. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But in
Hmm.
this case, let's just take the route that the advice that I'm giving is absolutely correct. Well, now they're saying, oh, okay, I need to change my ways. I need to change the way I do that. Now, what I would do is offer some avenues, some resources. Well, they're giving away some courses over here, or there's some courses over here. Can I send you to this? I'll pay for this if you want me to. My director and I were talking today, and there are 3 courses that she's looking at that she wants to absolutely get involved in. And guess what? I'm going to make it happen for her because I want her to stay with us. And if she's going to get all the education, where do I want it to be? With us so that we can
Okay,
continue to grow.
can I pause you because you said that, and I think that's something that we need to talk about. Because oftentimes, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings that come on because I know after this the live gets a lot of views. I want to talk about one, being a black owner, and two,
Mm-hmm.
what you just said about putting in like you were willing to pay for it. Oftentimes, when you're in this field and you're working for mom and pop childcare centers that are owned by people that look like us,
Mm-hmm.
they have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Um, and when the truth be like you said, the education and the knowledge that we're getting is to better that center, but we have to pay for it. What is your standpoint on that? Do you think that? And I like that you have both sides of it. You're the owner and you've been in the field. So how do you handle that? What is your advice on that?
Well, let me put it. I'm a private center, just so people know that I'm a private owned center. And so, in comparison to someone like, can I call other daycare names out? I did it earlier. Am I allowed to say names?
Yeah, yeah, you're
Okay.
fine.
Okay. I ain't trying to get you sued, man. But in comparison to people like Childcare Network and Sunshine House and some of these building blocks, these bigger guys, um, I I don't have all the money they have. And Childcare Network paid for my CPR and first aid. They paid for BSAC and some others. So I said, well, hold on. Why did I stay with them? I stayed with them because what I needed to get paid from them, they paid for. So if it worked for them to keep me, I need it to work for me to keep my employees. And so I take that approach. If I want people to stay with me, I've got to invest in them. If you're not willing to invest in the seed that you've sown in the ground, then you should have never done the work of digging the hole. Just for if you literally go put an actual seed in the ground and you don't put any water on it, as a matter of fact, you put the seed in the ground but don't put dirt back on top of it. You don't even water it. You don't go check on it. You don't put it in a space where it'll get sunlight. You should have never wasted your time in putting the seed in the ground. In other words, if you're not going to help grow your employees, you should have never hired them. Because you either want your business to remain stagnant or you want them to remain stagnant in a growing business, which is going to frustrate you or frustrate your clientele. And so for me, I believe that we should invest in our clients. Now, I believe you should protect yourself as well. If I can, I be completely honest with you,
Absolutely.
because I'm not a sunshine house and I'm not a building blocks and I'm not a big chain. I have to protect myself because my money is not as strong as theirs may be, not yet. And so for me, what I do is my employees sign a contract. They sign a contract at the time of their employment that says, hey, if there are classes that you want to take that benefit the business and you, we'll pay for it. Genesis Learning Academy will pay for your courses. However, comma, if you choose to leave our center or you are terminated from employment within a year of taking that class, not a year of employment, a year of taking that course, you are going to have to refund us the money that we paid. If you choose not to, the collection agency will get it from you. God bless you.
God bless.
That's
God
that's
bless
really
you.
it though. Because because I've learned we've got to be wise as business owners. And I've lost too much money building the business. I'm not gonna lose money having the business.
Oh, that now that'll preach.
Yeah. So many
Um,
of us do that. And in this childcare business, let's be real, it is a lucrative business. It is a lucrative business, but it's not so lucrative that you can waste the money.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So we just have to
Mhm.
be very careful with that. So I believe absolutely invest in your employees any way possible. Trainings, vacations, appreciation days, appreciation cards. You okay? We'll get to that. Maybe okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, we can go ahead and I have the questions here and I'm just looking at them and go still talking as we go. We talked about training and vacation days. I was talking about something on my live on Instagram and I asked the question and I want to hear your take on it. Do you think that childcare centers should be closed from Christmas Eve to the New Year?
Why you ask me that?
Because I want to know.
Oh, okay. Dear childcare employees and employers, don't hate me, okay? I don't believe we should. My center is open. Now we do close during those holidays, but not Christmas Eve until January 4th, January 5th. And here's why. And this is the approach I take. I am in business to support the families that need our service. If I only do what benefits me, then I'm not being a service to the families. That makes sense? And as a man of integrity, that's just me now. And I'm not challenging y'all. Don't y'all hate me. They're going to leave you alive now, Reverend. They're going to leave you alive now, brother. They don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear this kind of preaching. I'm just playing. But as a man of integrity, it just bothers me for me to cut off all services that could be offered just because I want another day off. I'm the boss. If I want a day off, just take it.
Oh,
If
but
you want,
see, but listen to what you said now. What you said was you're the boss. If you want
mhm,
a day off, just take it. What about that individual who does not have that luxury of just taking that day? Because at the end of the day, daycare dude, we are there when everything is closed, when school systems are closed, we are there. We don't have a summer break, we don't have a winter break, we don't
true,
have a fall break. We are there. And I think that for the teachers, it would give them that time to reboot. We all have that time to reboot. And I think that we have I think childcare has become more of a let me get rid of my child
Oh yes.
till they get ready to close, as opposed to I'm at work, I need somewhere for my child to go. When I get on work, I'm going to get my baby. It
Yeah.
has really become we raised them. We
Yes,
raised
absolutely.
get it was a I was at a center and this center served dinner. And the mom literally asked the child while she was walking out the door, "Did you do your homework? Did you eat? Because when you go home, you taking a bath, you going to bed." Well, when do you be a parent? You know what I'm saying? When do you be a parent? Even at the center that I'm at now, a parent asked me. He said, "Are you all closed on Christmas Eve?" Well, why wouldn't you want your child with you for Christmas Eve? It
For
was the
Christmas Eve. Uh-huh.
confusing thing to me. But that's what childcare has become. We
Yeah.
have become their parents. So when I ask that question, I get where you're coming from. I get it. We are renting the service. It's job security. I get it. But at the same time, what about our teachers who are here, who are doing it? And you have some teachers who are so loyal that they won't call out because they don't want to put the center in a bad place. Or they
That's
want
true.
XYZ because that's just how loyal they are to the business. And most of the time, it's only a 4 day gap in between the New Year and Christmas.
Okay, so yes, I get it. So here's my advice to that person who has that ideology, right? At least this is what let me tell you what Trayvon does. Here's what I do. What I do is I try to take care of my staff throughout the year. Not to say that
Mm-hmm.
anyone else does, but I try to take care of myself throughout the year so that when we don't get those breaks, of course they're going to wish they had it, but they're not going to feel like I'm doing them an injustice. You understand what I'm saying? So I was open Christmas Eve, but I was open Christmas Eve and I let parents know you don't have to bring your child. I made that very clear. I kept saying you don't have to bring them. You don't because then they get like, well, maybe but I let parents know you don't have to bring your child for on Christmas Eve. However, we're closing earlier than normal. Now, mind you, we have three shifts. We're first, second, and third. We're 24 hours. So we didn't do second or third shift on Christmas Eve. By 6 o'clock, all of our children should have been gone. And so we made sure parents knew that because what we let them know is our teachers have families to get home to. They have some last minute shopping they want to do, and we want to give them that opportunity to do it. However, again, just my thought process is I am a service provider. And because I'm a service provider, I shouldn't take luxury days off. Now, what I can do is make sure that my staff has days off. So we take outside of holiday because we take just about every holiday we can get as daycare providers, right? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for helping me tell the little secret that we have. Okay. They gonna get us. They gonna see. This is why we can't let men in the profession. They tell
Right.
you. But so the thing about it is we take every holiday that we can just about, and now for my staff we take an additional 4 days. We take an additional 4 days throughout the year just to have off, and I call them professional development days. But some of those professional development is rest. It is important that in order for you to develop professionally, sometimes you just need to get somewhere and sit down. And
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that. Sometimes professional development is right there in the bed or right on the couch, with a bowl of Captain Crunch or Lucky Charms, Okay? That sometimes that's professional development because you got to be able to just embrace again. I had a friend that asked me today, they said, how was your weekend? Did you get some rest? I said, you know what? I didn't sleep much at all. But because I got to hang out with everybody, that was I was able to breathe again. I was able to do that. Me and my daughter just went and we had a good time with our friends, and that was life for me. And sometimes that's what we need. We don't have to, uh, lay in the bed and sleep. So the point I'm making is, we take so for Thanksgiving, I took off the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, the 28th. That's 4 days, and then we came back on Monday the 30th. Then we went back into December and we took off the 25th, the 28th, 9th, no, the 28th, which was that Monday. And then we came back that Tuesday and we worked until New Year's Eve. And we were off New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So do you give off New Year's Eve?
No, I didn't have. Did I? No, I worked New Year's Eve. I worked New Year's
Y'all
Eve.
work New Year's Eve, but not Christmas Eve?
Yeah, we did not. That was my thought process. Also, we
So
had.
y'all didn't want to work pre-Jesus birthday, but y'all want to work pre-New Year. Okay. But
So
that's what my exchange was. I let myself off the day before New Year's because most of us do church or we do family functions or we get ready to go out of town. And then for the Christmas, for Christmas, we work New Year's Eve. So yeah.
Um, so you talked about your daughters. With your center being 24/7 and you're an active owner, how do you balance being a dad and owning your business?
It's not easy. My daughters have a great mother. They really do. They have a great mother, and I give her all the credit. And so, my daughters actually are with me every weekend. So they're with me every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they're with their mom throughout the week. And there are days throughout the week where I'll still get a chance to visit with them, have a good time. But and my daughters, well, my baby daughter also attends. She's at the daycare, so she's with me every day.
Mhm.
But when she's at the daycare as a student, she's a student. I don't give her special treatment.
Ooh,
Um,
that's another topic because
yeah,
sometimes,
I don't give her special treatment unless everybody's asleep.
and listen,
If it's nap time, no, I'm joking. No, 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 no. I really don't give her a special treatment. But really, to be honest with you, my daughters have a phenomenal mom, and so she helps to, in my opinion, she helps to make the places where I'm working hard to give them something. She makes it easy for them to understand. And so
mhm,
when they're with me, some Friday nights I close my center, and guess who's with me? My girls. So they're learning. What I do is I make an opportunity where they're learning the daycare business, and then we're having fun together. They're playing with their friends, and I'm engaged playing with them and their friends. And then when everybody goes to sleep, they come into the office and hang out with me, or we're in the room with the kids, and we're all just like they feel like they're doing something special. So whatever I do, I try to incorporate. And then that Saturday and that Sunday is ours, whether we go and we hang out with their friends, our friends together, because some of my friends have children their age, and so we just make that time as dedicated to one another as possible. Yeah, but I have to give credit to their mother for all of that. To be completely honest with you, as far as that is concerned.
that's good. That's good that you
Mhm.
have that help. So you told me that you were rebranding yourself as the daycare dude. Before
Yeah.
we talk about that, how did you come up with the name of your center, Genesis Learning Academy?
Okay. So when I decided to go into daycare, my ex-wife and I were actually um, looking to go into this business because her mother was being mistreated. Her mother had been in daycare for almost 30 years, and she closed her center because she was about to go back into foster care, taking in foster care students, and she was misinformed that she could not do both because she had a home center. So she came out of her home center and went into a corporate center. And when she went in there, she was being mistreated. And so she went into that one. And one day she was just complaining to me. And she said, "Son, I don't like it. I don't like this, and that." I said, "Well, you know what, Mama? Let's go open you a center then." There was a daycare center right around the corner that had been closed for about 10 years. And I said, "Let's go do it." And so we prayed. I got permission from my wife first and asked her, could I open a daycare center? And she looked at me, and for the first time, one of my dumb ideas, she looked and said, that, that might be okay. And so we went with that. And so we prayed about the name and everything. The goal was this, though. We didn't just want a regular childcare center. We didn't just want a daycare where we just watch children. We wanted a childcare center where children actually learned. And we
Hmm.
got that that model from the childcare center that our daughters were in at that time, which was Renaissance Classical Preschool, Christian preschool. And when they were in this, it's a private center here in Fayetteville, and they have a curriculum. They start teaching at the age of 1. They have a very structured program. Children wear uniform, all of that. And I said, I want my program to look like that. I want to be the elite center.
Hmm.
I want to be the center that is in our community where people say, when my child got to pre-K, they knew everything they were supposed to know because they were at Genesis Learning Academy. And so the
Hmm.
name Genesis, where a lot of people think because we're saved that the name came from the Bible. That wasn't a thought, but we thank God for the correlation. The actual reason is because when she and I were trying to come up with a name, we considered the fact that we want you to learn from the very beginning. And the name Academy, I think she came up with the Genesis part. And then we had a friend who also kind of threw some stuff at us and we just brought it together. But the Academy portion was for the structured learning. We wanted that structured learning piece. We wanted parents to feel like they were sending their children to school every day at the age of 1, 2, and 3. And so we try to uphold that now.
Yeah, I definitely believe in that. That's one thing that I like about childcare now is that because especially here in Georgia, it's rare to find a childcare center that does not have a curriculum.
Yeah.
Centers here are really designed for children to be learning at a young age.
Hmm.
Where I work at now, I work for Creme de la Creme, and at the age of 1, they have kids going from classroom to classroom, learning STEM, art. Like they have these different rooms for the kids that are doing it, and I think that it's amazing. But back to why did you want to brand yourself as the daycare dude? How did that come about?
People were asking me questions about the daycare business. And I was like, why y'all asking me? Like, why me? Why are y'all asking me? And the real truth was, I was on Clubhouse. You been on Clubhouse yet?
Yes, I've joined
You
Clubhouse, and it's
joined Clubhouse?
absolutely amazing.
Did you follow me yet?
I think so.
If you want to go to heaven, you need to follow me. Okay. Oh, okay. My bad. Okay. No, but you should follow me because I host and this is where it came from here. I host a club room every Monday and every Friday at 9 p.m. So as a matter of fact, I got to get off in a little bit now that I think about it. But I host a club room at 9 p.m. Every Monday and every Friday, and it's
And I'm
called the Playground. It's
okay.
called the Playground. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's called the Playground. If we run over time, it's fine.
No,
But
I'm saying I'm gonna hop in your room at
oh,
on
okay.
Clubhouse. Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if we run over time, though, we're not rushing your show. I like this show. This is a good show. This is the popular show. This is the show that's going to help me. Okay, so the what happened is I was in it, and honestly, my goal was just to try to bring childcare providers in a space where we could just talk and have a good time and
Mhm.
learn. That's why I called it the playground. And I wanted us to learn back and forth. And I thought about that thing. Trayvon, you love this business. And people are asking you questions. And the reason why they ask the question, because you're the dude in daycare. You're like, there's not many guys in this field. And
Mhm.
then there's this childcare whisperer that says, hey, you're a dude in the daycare field too. Come be on my show. And I'm like, I guess I am the daycare dude. And so the name literally came up out of the idea of being the guy in daycare who absolutely loves the field and the profession, and I want to see other people grow in it. So I'm
Yeah.
not a consultant. I'm not a coach. I'm just someone. I'm a conduit, if you will. I am that individual that stands in between you and your future, if you will, to be a great childcare provider.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that a lot. And that's why I started this. I really wanted to help other childcare centers. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. I know what I have done to centers that were in shambles when I came, and I want to offer other directors that same knowledge. I'm
Yeah,
not a crab in the bucket. I'm not going to pull you down. I'm not going to do that. I believe that in order for me to grow and prosper, I believe it's important to someone else,
right,
and helping them along the way. So that has really been my goal. On top of me loving what I do, I honestly don't know what else I would do outside of this. But I really do love it. If you could give advice to um, directors that are at childcare centers, what would be your advice to them?
love what you do. Love the people you do it for and with, and act like it. Um, and then the other thing I would say to directors is take your job so seriously that you make your employer so much money that your employer wants to share as much as they can with you without sending the business into bankruptcy. Every day, my director is so good, no lie to you. She's so good that every day I try to figure out a new way to spend money on her. Every day I try to figure out a new way to retain her. Honestly, I'm thinking like, how can I make this? How can I make sure nobody finds out how good she is and wants to take her from me and she says yes? How
Mhm.
can I make sure that her salary is in a good position to where she doesn't have to ask for it, go and work a second job? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Am I overworking her? So those type of things. Work hard and love everybody.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing. What you said was that was amazing. That was amazing. If I were to add anything to that, for me, what has worked for me is I looked at the business as if it was my own. I truly care for centers that I was directing as my own. One of my the last center that I was the director at over the center, the owner asked me. She said, "Well, what do you do?" Because when I went there, the center only had maybe 30 kids, and that included after school and like the normal day. Um,
Hmm.
and by the time I left, they were at 100, and that was after school and the normal day.
Wow.
Well, you're so good. What did you do? I believe in the power of prayer. I'm not going to go into anything that I don't believe in.
Yeah.
Before I do anything, I make sure that this is for me. I make sure that I can pour into this thing. I want that cup to be running over because it's speaking about me also. I think that when directors are in that position, they have to take on that mindset that this business is mine also because you're the director.
Absolutely.
So I prayed, I stayed over late, I redid classrooms, I did XYZ to make sure that this business represented me. When they
Yeah.
came in, they say, okay, Mr. Clark did this. This is,
Yeah.
I did that. And I think that is such an important tool for directors in this field is to make sure that you embody the title. Make sure that you when they see you, they see the owner also. You know,
Absolutely.
I really believe that. So would you say that being a father helped you in this field?
Oh, absolutely. And this field helped me to father as well, be a good father as well. I learned how to understand children and children because of that field. So, um, absolutely, being a father helped me out. My girls have helped me with everything in my life. My girls have taught me how to preach. My daughters have taught me how to give. They taught me how to be patient. They've taught me how to just handle other people and do business like this. So, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's good. And I would love to meet your director. I decided
Okay.
one day I've had people on here and I'm gonna go and visit their center. So one day don't be
Oh,
surprised
cool.
if you see me come up to your
Where
door.
where are you?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you ain't far.
No, I'm not far at all.
Excuse my English, y'all. You aren't far.
And my mom is in Charlotte. I have friends in Greensboro, so no, I'm not far at all. And my hometown is in South Carolina, so no, I'm not far at all.
What part of South Carolina?
Ugh. It's a place called Mullins, South Carolina.
Mullins, yeah. I know some
Yep,
people in Mullins. I know
yep.
some people. A lot now. The folk in Mullins, some of them have the last name Mullins, don't they?
There are some people in there with the last name Mullins.
Okay, because I know just some people in the church world who are like, okay, we're talking about something different. Sorry, y'all. We sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
We
There are
we
some
got
people
kind of
there
misunderstood.
with the last name Mullins. So as we close out, because I know you have to get to your room, tell us, what is your motto? What is your motto in this field? What do you live by?
This is for everything that I do. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. A good friend of mine, Pastor Joshua Goodman, said that to me when I was in the 11th grade. He came as a youth pastor to the school to do a youth group. And he looked at me and he said, people don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And I have carried that with me every single day of my life. I want people to know that I care. When I ask you, how are you? You know, most people say, hey, how you doing? They keep walking. I don't do that. If I ask you how you doing, I'm gonna wait for you to answer. Now, if
Mhm.
you answer, I might keep walking, but I need to wait on your response because we've grown so accustomed in this world to just simply saying, "Hey, how you doing?" or "Hey, what's up?" and we just keep going because those are greetings. We don't take it as serious, but when you ask a person how they're doing, sometimes that one question can change a person's entire day. You know,
Absolutely.
and so just asking me, how am I, matters to me. So if it matters to you, if the possibility is there that my question matters, then I should stay and wait until you give an answer. so that I can celebrate with you that your day was great. Or I can, somebody may say, "How you doing today, Tremaine?" Nonsense. My answer is going to be absolutely amazing. Amazing. How are you today? And they say, "I'm doing good. I'm doing good." Well, that's amazing. That's my response because I want to celebrate with you. You had a good day. If they say today's been kind of rough, well, man, well, uh, I don't know what to say now. But if they say it's been a rough day, then I respond accordingly, and that's the moment where I allow, excuse me, this is my Christian background, my faith. I allow Holy Spirit to lead me on how to handle that person, that particular situation at that moment. So yeah, I believe that my motto is very simple. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care.
Wow, that's a good model
And
because
and one of, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just saying that's a good model because even when you're conducting tours and stuff, if somebody can feel that you care, then they're more
Yes.
likely to trust you with their child. So that's
Yep.
a great model. People, that's the number one thing. Parents want to know that you care and that they can
Yeah.
trust you with their child. So that's great.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Amazing. That is my brother Bradley. Yeah, our pastor preached a message several years ago, man, probably about 3 years ago now, and the message was entitled "Be Amazing."
Mhm.
And the just that one thing he wanted us to remember: it does not matter what you do in life. You have one job, and that is to be amazing at. God is expecting you to be amazing at everything that you do. And so, if I'm going to do it in daycare, I'm going to be amazing at it. If I'm going to do it at life, I'm going to be amazing at. No matter what I do, I'm going to do it in a way where somebody will say, "That guy's amazing." And if they don't say it, guess who will? I will.
You will. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. That's amazing.
yeah. That's amazing. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing. Well, we're gonna let you go. I know you have to get on Clubhouse. I'm gonna hop in the room with you. Thank you
Please.
for joining in. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. It is really, really my prayer that you are blessed and you get abundance of blessings from joining.
Thank you.
Please share it, everyone, as you come in. Please share the live. Also, at the end of the live, I run it as an ad on Facebook, so more people will see it. Once again, thank you so much. I have a great night. I know you're going to do the clubhouse and you're going to go back to work, so that's amazing. So
That
you,
is amazing. Pray
and
my pray my strength.
I will, I will. You have a great night, and I really, really enjoyed you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.